Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we're looking at the Locust. So, the Locust was first released in the United States in 1990, and unfortunately, it was discontinued in 1991. Now, this is a bomb dropping assault chopper. Uh, in a lot of regards, this would almost be a replacement for the old Skyhawk. So, looking here at yojo.com, we have the wonderful pictures that we always rely upon. And as you can see, we have two dual cannons that are able to pivot. And then we also have a couple bombs sitting right here underneath the rotors, as well as two underneath. And we have a bomb hatch sitting underneath the belly here, as we have our really small tail, but it does have the uh, our auxiliary rotor here, and I'm failing at trying to remember exactly what to call that. Um, but yeah, that gives us our directional and keeps us from auto rotating the entire helicopter. So nice top down. This was a very small kind of set, and I do remember having one of these at one point. I think it was one of the last ones that I had actually kind of picked up when I was collecting them many eons ago. So yeah, we have this kind of gray hatch here underneath or amongst the kind of brownish body there, and that's where we have two additional bombs that can be dropped out of there. So it's an interesting design. Like I said, to me, this is more of a replacement for the at this point kind of aging Skyhawk, probably a cheaper replacement for them as they're moving on to different things. And of course, looking in there, I'm not exactly certain which figure that is. I used to know, but I don't know offhand anymore. Um, and as we go through everything, now the cannons, I'm trying to remember exactly what they had said that they were. Uh, nope, this is dual side-mounted armor-shattering machine guns. So that's all we're getting out of those. So I just did the best I could for coming up for our stats. Trying to just make sure that we have something as close as what we can get for comparable for everything else. All right. Unfortunately, the missiles, they have it listed as missiles, but the bombs are easily lost. And as we can see, these are also shown in comics and TV commercials and all that. Now, this is from the old DIC. Let's see. One of the kind of printouts that they had come up with. The Locust is a light scout and ground support helicopter with limited stealth capability. It is small enough to be transported by a C 150 C 130 Hercules and still leave room for a Hammer and a Desert Fox, but versatile enough to perform a variety of combat and support missions. So, uh, like it's a nice little design. Um, I still kind of prefer the old Skyhawk myself because I'm just an old geezer here at this point, but it just is what it is. It is, like I said, it's an interesting design, but I think I think I'd probably run both the Skyhawk and the separately myself if I could. But there again, as they phase one vehicle out and then they're getting new vehicles, I think this is more or less Hasbro's uh, kind of replacement for the old aging Skyhawk here. Looks like Canada had a slightly different box cover for whatever the difference here was. I don't know if it's got some French Canadian writing in here. Yep, and that's what we have. So, here we have bomb dropping assault copter, and then in French we have the same thing. All right, so we do have some slightly different views. We have the 1990 and then there was a green version in 1990, and then in 2000, for whatever reason, they wanted to call um, the dragonfly a locust. So I don't know why they wanted to do that, but that's something that they had decided to do at the time. All right. So with that, we'll move on over and we will get our D6 universe stats. All right. So a simple machine gets simpler stats here. So we are at a speeder scale for this, a length of about 20 feet, crew of one. Passengers, I left the passengers of two on the skids because we do have the little um, spots there for actually holding figures, so I figure I would leave that on there. Cargo capacity, I always keep it roughly about 45 kilograms. That's kind of our standard. We do have full coverage. Altitude range is up to about 4 kilometers. Maneuverability is a 3D. I have it going about 800 kilometers an hour. Let's see, body strength is a 3D. Now, I'll be honest, looking at the movement speed, that might be a little fast for what it should probably be, but I'm just taking a wild guess here. So if it doesn't work for you, by all means, change it and make it what you need it to be. So we do have the two twin blaster cannons, uh, forward firing arc, speeder scale. Fire control is going to be a 2D. Damage is 7D because it's all four of them together. And then we have four light directional bombs. This is again at speeder scale. Fire control is 2D, and these are doing 7D damage. Um, Actually, I think what I should have done for the bombs is maybe put them up to a Walker scale. So let's try and do that. That way it makes a little bit more sense that we have bombs doing a little bit more damage here. All right. Um, so that really makes it a nice, deadly little helicopter here. The fact that we do have some directional bombs that we can try and land onto something, um, kind of making it lethal for something that, to doing a ground support, as well as having the cannons to do a kind of ground support for any infantry troops that are out and about. So, um, you know, it's a simplistic design. Sometimes we don't need things overly complicated or whatever just to get the job done. Sometimes it just needs to be simple, easy, and effective. So, with that, it's a small helicopter, small stats to kind of go through. It was a fun one to go through instead of trying to figure out all the different vehicles that we've hit with some of these other ones, where you have one vehicle that turns into five. Uh, so yeah, it's a lot shorter video this week for this, and it's a lot funner just trying to worry about just one vehicle at a time. So, with that, thank you so very much for stopping by. It's always wonderful having you here. Hope you're doing well, and I will see you in the next video.